welcome to Boggy Creek Life for another episode of Mail Calls and Grail Halls. I'm your host, Cam Boggs. And first off, I would like to say to all returning subscribers, thank you as always. And if you are new to the channel, what I do here is some kit reviews and some painting details, like I show things, how things I've done to certain things or whatever. And yeah, just basically the kind of models that I get into, I go over, and if people ask questions in the comments, I freely give knowledge. And there is also I started a Patreon hangout once a month. It's only $3 tier if you want to come hang out with us and get on the workbench together and talk some models. I'll put that link down in the description if you're interested. Okay, for those of you that are returning, if you remember a little while ago, I said I was going to start expanding my berth of models that I get into, because I like other models too. I like military models. I like car models. Figure models will always be here. They're never going anywhere. It's just, I want to expand to other things because I like other stuff, and this channel is about me. So anyways, that being put aside, this is about the new kit I got. Really cool. It's from a company called Eduard. Eduard's a Czech company, about 30 years old. They started out making photo etch parts and stuff from a little research that I did, and I got my understanding. And they worked their way up to making like really full-scale, detailed kits, higher-end kits. Their kits run around $100 to $200, depending, I would say, what I've come across in there. It all depends on what it is and what scale it is. What scale? This one here we're going to look at is the Tiger 3366 NATO Tiger Meat Zarganza 2016. And what all that means is it's a Hind D, I believe, basically. That Tiger Meat means these squadrons that are in NATO that have a tiger emblem on their aircraft. They're all invited to this meet with these, just, they show off these crazy paint jobs, and they train together and show off their helicopters and stuff, And so for this one's from 2016, and the reason I was attracted to this one, as you will see, is because they painted it like the damn alien, man. I couldn't pass that by. All right. So with all that being said, and if you're new to this and you get into this stuff, I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Anything at all helps out the channel. Participate in comments, anything. Now, I am not an aviation history major. I'm just starting in this hobby. Actually, this is going to be probably not the first aircraft that I build. I have another one that I believe is still a high quality, high detailed kit. It's a Trumpeter 132nd A10, but I don't think it's as difficult as this. So I'm going to be doing that one first, and I may do videos following that build. I'm sure you will see something of it when I started. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and let's go get into this. And if you haven't noticed by now, if you're returning, like I said, I'm trying a more professional setup of recording instead of just using the old iPhone there. So, let me know if the sounds right and all that, because all I get to hear it played back through before I send it off is the little tiny speakers on the laptop, and those aren't great. So okay, you can see here what we got going. All right. Beautiful box art. Beautifully done. And pretty much just got that all the way around. Open her up. And we've got everything here in plastic, but it does have a couple books that come with it. I'll go over with you first. I haven't even opened that yet, and of course I won't make you sit through that. This is the instruction sheet, and this is where I mean, they're known for their great detailed instructions. I have never had an Eduard kit before, but I joined a IPMS local group, and they all do military aircraft, and so they turned me on to these kits. I'd never even heard of them before because they don't make figure models. So, but yeah, and it's a highly detailed instructions. Yeah, hopefully you can see all that. I have to get used to this dual camera thing, but yeah, it's gonna take a while. I get scared when I see all them important notes. But I mean, if you look at the details of the cockpit, there's stuff everywhere. That's why I'm like this. I don't think this one is quite for the beginner. It even shows you how things should look painted, and like you have to drill a hole in the tail. This is going to be challenging, and well, us modelers, we know about challenging. We can either we get excited or we get frustrated. Usually it's both. There's a little walk away section sometimes, stencil positioning, all this. I haven't even checked out what all this is about yet. Color coding, liquid mask, which is basically liquid latex. That's what I use for that. Holy cow. Yeah, now you had to pre-order this kit to get it because it was a limited edition. And I think originally, it's even got a spot for your notes on the back. Originally, they had it set up. I think they were going to put the rivets on the helicopter. Thus the term people get rivet counters. But something happened and they ended up making rivet decals. So how that's going to pan out is you have to but they're raised. They're raised just slightly. So it's like a textured decal. I know, blowing my mind too, if you're not into this kind of thing or you're just hearing about it. Yeah. So you put on the rivet decal, and then, you see that the helicopter, and I'll show you down here, is covered with alien decals of the paint job. So then you put that decal over top of the rivet decal, and when everything gets all settled down and whatnot, you're supposed to be able to feel or see the rivets through. We'll see how that pans out. So this is it's a book about the different paint jobs. It's the story, but the whole thing is and excuse me if I'm wrong, it's all printed in Czech. And I have no idea how to read that. So maybe I think one of my IPMS brothers volunteered to he's got something that'll translate it or something. So hopefully I can get him to do that for me so I can check that out. But yeah, I would like to know, the little histories of it. It's just really cool stuff. And I mean, it's cool that they got in like how photos from where they painted it the way they did. I mean, these guys are true artisans. So you got all that going on in here. You got even sign it recur. Don't get me wrong. I don't know how a U with 2 dots above it's supposed to be pronounced. But yeah, that's all just a really cool thing to have along with it. All right, that's the invoice. We'll get that out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and unpackage some of this plastic, and I ain't going to make you guys watch that. We'll be right back. Okay, so you can see here, we've got about a bazillion, gillion jillion parts. Now, this being 148 scale, and like I mentioned before, I like to do larger models. So most planes and things I'll be doing in cars will be like 132nd and higher. But this is still a good size because it's a big helicopter at 148. So I was like, okay. And you can see it's still pretty good, and it doesn't even have the front on it. I would imagine it's somewhere around that big. Now you can see it's got all the paneling and the doors and what the little whatever they are. It's got all the panel lines, but it doesn't have the rivets, obviously. On this side here, it's even got some nice detailing. Right here is a glass. Lots of different pieces. Looks like some engine parts and whatnot. But I mean, just looking at the detail of it all, I have a feeling this model will take quite a while. I'm looking here because I'm also looking at the flashing, and it doesn't look like there's really any flashing. Maybe one little piece right there, but I mean, I call that a win. If that's all. Like them little old AMT kits and stuff like that. Well, them stuff could be terrible. Just all kinds of interior. Be honest, a lot of stuff that I don't even know what it is, but that's okay. I mean, that's part of the learning process, And especially now, here's some wheels here, but I also think it came with another set of wheels, or maybe I ordered them separately and they threw it in the box, because I think at the website they had some like 3D printed stuff you could get instead, and like I don't know. They're in here somewhere. We'll see when I find them. Oh, here they are. This is a different set of wheels. I honestly don't know. Maybe I didn't order these. You can still see they're highly detailed. Trying to make sure that what you're seeing on the camera is what's seen in real life here. Better keep them in here. Don't get lost. Some more of the helicopter. I believe this is the front underneath, so it'll be that much longer. This is probably the sides of the front, and this is going to be a. I finish this. This will be an accomplishment. Even got a couple little pilot guys right there. That's going to be a fun figure paint. Got the rotors, tail rotor, engine parts. I recognize most of that. Wow, there's a lot of parts to this. A lot of parts. Like I said, this is probably not a beginner kit. This looks like maybe gun barrels. But once again, these little skinny guns, but they're like perfectly straight. Once again, no flashing, nothing to speak. I mean, I saw that one little piece on that one part. I mean, it might be molded that way because sometimes they have different fits for things or something. I don't know. So I'll have to double check that to make sure before I sand that off. Now we get into the decals and stuff. It has instructions to cut out the rivet decals. This is masking. If you're not familiar with military kits and stuff, a lot of them have masking for the windows, so you can put on what's supposed to stay clear, and then you can airbrush what looks like the metal bars holding the glass. This is a lifesaver, and a game changer. Sometimes a little tricky to apply. I did it on a car. That is. Looks like it may be important. We'll set that aside, throw that in the baggie. May have to glue that back on something, I don't know. Use this template to cut each segment of the rivets. Okay, but this is a cockpit photo etching. And like I said, this is from my understanding, this is what the company Eduard started out doing. But theirs is colored and painted. I mean, because there's no way. I'm not going to say it's impossible. I'm sure there's somebody out there that could do it. But I could not paint all that for sure. This is just way too small. And then they have some other photo etching parts inside. I'm not going to get all that out. Now here, we go to the flip side here. You've got your numbered markings and stripes. These, I really don't want to open this up, but I will. I don't know how. And everything is packaged real nicely, too. These are your rivets. And I know you can't feel it in the video, but I can feel them. They're raised. Now, how this is going to read underneath the other decal, I don't know. Sure, I would be doing some researching before I get to that point. Now, let's look at the other decals. The alien ones. Like I said, that's just the markings and such. It is protective cover. Oh, that's pretty. That is pretty. Okay. Apparently it's got kind of directions there on the side. This is definitely going to be a challenge. Got the alien teeth there. Goes up on the front. Belly. Back tail. I think that's up around the top somewhere. This is going to be cool. Going to be cool. So anyways, there's a look at that. We'll go ahead and throw this back in the box and we'll get on out of here. Alrighty, so thanks for joining me and checking that out. I hope you enjoyed it. That is a really cool, crazy kit. And just one other thing I thought I'd mention is I know I said they are higher end. And unfortunately, a lot of these, you know, if you think you'd like to get into these planes and stuff, some of these companies are located overseas. And so you got to add shipping tariffs and stuff on. Well, not shipping tariffs, just tariffs on top of that and shipping. So, you know, but there are, you know, some great planes and stuff too made by U.S. based companies as well. If you like what you see here and you don't know, go to Facebook. You can find my page, Boggy Creek Studio, and give that a like. I post a lot of stuff to there. Currently working on Ed Harley and Pumpkinhead diorama. I'll put some updates on there. I'm working on the props right now for the diorama, his flamethrower and whatnot, and stuff like that. Trying to think of anything else to wrap it up with. Once again, if you would like to hang out with us on the Patreon, that link will be in the description or wherever it goes on YouTube. And yeah, the world's just a crazy place right now. Hopefully we can all hold it together and be good to each other. Model on.